I'm Adam Richmond, your host with the Locks That Rocks, the official podcast of Rocklahoma, and I'm joined by a couple of cats who just came off a sweltering stage at the Roadhouse. I am talking about Dead Fervor. How's it going, guys?
You're good. How are you doing?
Excellent.
I am doing well. Tell me a little bit about your performance today.
Well, we played over at the Roadhouse stage.
Yeah.
We went on a little bit early. It was hot. It was really hot, but we had a good time. It's all about having fun.
Great fans, great crowd. So we weren't expecting what we got, which is unbelievable for people to come out this early and rock out and drink this early with us. And I mean, it's really cool. It's great that they're here supporting new bands they've never heard of that are playing original music. You know.
Right.
Big, huge thanks to the DEB Concert stage and the Roadhouse for having us, and Rocklahoma for having us, and Surviving Rocklahoma for caring enough to say hello to us today. So.
It is my absolute pleasure, guys. So tell me, what have you been up to, guys? What were you up to before you got into Pryor, Oklahoma?
We've been writing new music is what we've been up to. We do have some festival shows we've been playing as well, but we spent the last few months writing some of our new tracks that you can find on Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, YouTube. We have a new single called Warning that just came out a few weeks ago that we're really proud of. So it's kind of one of those songs that came out of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
You know, a lot of good music is starting to come out of that.
Right.
So we're pretty proud of it. And then we've got in 2023, we got some good shows scheduled, but mostly writing.
We kicked the year off. We were asked to go on tour with Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and so we did a tour with Dizzy from Guns N' Roses. It's a side project of his called Hookers and Blow. I think our stage guy has a Hookers and Blow t-shirt on today, but it's Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses and Alex Grossi from Quiet Riot, who played last night. Johnny Kelly from Type O Negative, and we've toured with them 3 years in a row in the spring. Yeah. And every year they ask us. So we did a tour with them in April, and then we took May and June and July. We did a run of shows and a festival show in July, but really we're doing this one, and then in 4 days we're doing Blue Ridge Rock Festival, and then we're going back to the studio to continue and write our new songs. Sweet. Before we're out touring again. We're being patient. I think, if anything, we learned patience over the last 3 years.
Well, you definitely don't get patience from side projects like Hookers and Blows. So tell me a little bit about your writing process. Can you give me a sneak peek into what we're going to be hearing and seeing from you guys?
Yeah, maybe ours is unique, maybe not. I don't know. What usually happens is
the drummer tells everyone what to do, and then we go from there.
He thinks.
The drummer thinks, he tells the guitarist how to play. No, really what we do is Porter over here, the strings, instruments come up with the riff. We come up with the riff, we try and get it all the way through to the bridge, and then we we basically throw it in the blender, and all of us, Ryan comes up with all of our lyrics, and then everybody writes their own parts. Jordan will write his own bass parts, Judge puts his salt and pepper on it, and so it's not like one person is writing the song. One person usually comes to the table with an idea, and we all work on it together.
That's awesome.
It works pretty good. Did I sum it up all right?
Yeah, we're on signs. We're doing it independent. This is our 4th year as a band. We're really just doing it our way. We've been successful doing it our way. We're doing it what we like, and it seems like that bleeds into the fans, and they seem to like it as well. So. I wouldn't pigeonhole us as a genre. We have 80s influences, we have 60s influences, all the way to very modern 90s and 2000s influences. So it's just a straight up guitar-driven rock band.
That's beautiful. Now, you mentioned collaborating a lot, going on tour with some of these other folks. How do you find some of those influences bleeding into this new content that you're continually writing?
Yeah, for sure. So we have plenty of songs that fit along with the classic rock genre. We've played with 38 Special and Don Felder and some of those.
Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick.
But we can also play with Pop Evil. Last year we played with Rob Zombie. So we fit kind of both.
Yeah.
which is really cool.
We could even play with Poison if we had to.
Which we would love to.
Yeah, we
Brett,
could do
if
it.
you're listening, we would love to play with you guys.
Hey, we all have a little bit of a guilty pleasure with the 80s hair metal.
It's very, very genre crossing music, but still guitar driven, heavy rock and roll.
Right. So now tell me, on these collabs, on these tours that you're going with some of your influences, do you ever get those fanboy moments where you're like, hey, guess who we're opening for? You got any? Who's your favorite that just got it for you?
Oh man,
That's a tough one, because I think all of them are my favorite because they gave us a chance. I think anybody that gave us a chance and said these guys are cool enough to go on tour with us are my favorite. Isn't that what it's about? Like helping each other and being kind to each other and being hopeful towards the future together, you know? Some that stand out, we did a show in Vegas with the guitarist from the Dead Boys, Cheetah Chrome. That was super cool, you know, because it's not what we would normally be around or listen to. Alex from Quiet Riot has really been one of my very best friends, all the way from playing with Steven Adler to playing with Hookers and Blow, Hotel Diablo to Quiet Riot. He has guided us a lot.
I think my moment that was kind of like a pinch me was one of the first shows I ever did with these guys. We did New Year's Eve with Faster Pussycat at the Whiskey A Go-Go.
Yes.
And I remember walking up into the green room, and people were dressed like they were from the 80s. And it was almost like you'd taken a step back in time for a minute, and that was really cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Tammy and the guys at Faster Pussycat, we've done a couple of runs with them. They're awesome. They're, you know, and I'm not saying like we're getting over like fanboyish with them, but we appreciate them. We appreciate what they've done for us.
Yeah.
Passing the torch, you know, is respected and appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, playing with Cheap Trick, that's got to be up there for me.
They asked us on stage.
Yeah, they asked us up on stage to do Surrender, their encore with them.
Oh my god!
So that was definitely that was.
It was incredible. Yeah, they literally came and got us and brought us on stage to do their encore. And I had seen Cheap Trick 20 years earlier in Hollywood at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was like a surreal thing. You know, we were support to Cheap Trick. And
His kids were Rick Nielsen's guitar
Rick
tech.
Nielsen asked my 16-year-old daughter to be his guitar tech for the show.
Wow.
My kids don't go with us very often, but when they did, it was epic because of who? Our influences. They made it epic.
Yeah. So it's like my kids being born, and then Cheap Trick, encore with Cheap Trick. Maybe edit that part out. I'm sure there's been some more important moments.
It's all right. My wife's called me a Cheap Trick many a time. So let me ask you guys, what's next? I know you guys are writing. What's on your horizon?
I think the biggest thing for us is to stay authentic and continue to do what we've done that has got us here. I think we have enjoyed doing it our way, and we're picking and choosing what we want to do without management, so it makes it difficult. But I think putting great music out and sharing it with the fans is really the goal. And I don't know how we do that other than just touring and beating the road, you know. We take on the shows that we can get, and, you know, first time in Oklahoma, and we're so happy to be here, and hopefully we gain some fans today. But that's what I feel like is our future, is continuing that same recipe that has been successful for us.
Yeah, we pick and choose what we want to do when we want to do it. We write what we want to write when we want to write it. We're not controlled by the man. We're not controlled by a record company or management or anything like that. And that's the way we want it. So that's worked out really well for us.
That's I sense a recurring theme. I do what the freak you tell I want. Don't tell me what to do. I love it.
Isn't that rock and roll?
We don't have to answer to anyone, you know. We don't have a label or management that's telling us, oh, you got to write this or do play this way or whatever. We just do what feels good to us. You know what I mean?
You guys
And there are no rules in rock and roll. If you abide by that, you're doing something right.
Amen. You guys are the epitome of rock and roll, and I am so glad you guys joined me today. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Dead Fervor, I like to do something every time I do an interview. I like to just give you a couple of minutes to talk to your fans, some folks that watched you on stage and they're checking out the stream and they wanted to learn a little bit about you guys. So without further ado, guys, it's your moment. Address your fans.
Well, we get off on the fans. It's all about the energy. So when when something that we wrote is making somebody else happy and they're getting into it, that comes right back to you in the most pure form of energy that you could possibly have. And that's how we feed off of things. We're all about that. We're all about original music, bringing that back. We're guitar driven. We feel like the guitar's kind of been missing in rock and roll these last few years, but we're doing it the way we want to. And I think that people understand that and they appreciate that we're doing it that way. And, you know, if they could say anything, they do it their way.
Yeah, the fans really make it full circle. The fact that anybody got up at 11 o'clock this morning and came into the festival and was set up and ready to watch our set is like humbling to us. So without them, we don't exist. So it's really, we're doing it for us and for you. You know, without them, we don't exist. So thank you everybody that's caught us at Rocklahoma or anywhere in the last 4 years. You know, it means so much to us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I can't wait to see what's next for you guys. Thanks again for Dead Fervor for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys. Once again, everybody, I'm Adam Richmond with the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma. Rock on.